Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Blakemore. I teach, travel and sometimes triumph. If you're new to the channel and wondering who I am a teacher here in Dubai who makes a range of teaching and traveling videos. If that sounds like something that you might be interested in, you can hit the subscribe button down in the corner and yeah, it'd be great to see you again. So this video is going to be slightly different. This is actually going to be a tech video. This is my first effort at a tech video, but I wanted to review these, the AirPods Pro. If you're tuning in for the first time and wondering why should I trust you if this is your first tech video, I've been looking for a pair of earphones for ages. I've probably been saving and trying to look and buy a pair of earphones for about 6 months, and as a result I've tried a range of the premium earphones, and potentially this may be the Goldilocks of the earphone world. So we're going to get into the video and yeah, see if these are the Goldilocks. I was super tempted to just hack away at it with a pair of these. Do you remember these? Safety scissors, but thankfully Apple's really kind and gives a little flap. So we'll go for that. So inside the box, oh, that. Apple's always ridiculously satisfying when it comes to opening products. Inside we've got, there they are, the AirPods. So AirPods, first impressions, it's a tiny case. It's very similar to the original AirPods. My brother has the original AirPods. So tiny little case. We'll get into opening and using these in a second, but what else? Something interesting that no one else seems to have told me. The actual thing that's included inside here is a USB-C to Lightning charger. Now that's quite interesting because as an iPhone X user, you get the normal USB to Lightning charger. So that's almost like an immediate upgrade. So that's an extra bonus of getting the Apple AirPods Pros. Okay, so one lengthy Apple update later and I'm finally able to get into these and use them. What I wanted to do now is talk about these Apple AirPods Pros and talk about the features, the sound, and then talk about why I chose them over a range of different premium earphones, headphones, and all those sorts of things. So first things first, practicalities and features. When it comes to size, the AirPod case is pretty much exactly the same. It's exactly the same as sort of turning the normal AirPods on its size. In terms of features, these do have active noise cancellation, and what I wanted to do is sort of test it out. I've had a chance to test it in the Apple Store already quite rigorously. Okay, what I wanted to do now is the click test. You guys can hear this click over the microphone, but it's a good way for me to show you what I can't hear and what you can hear. So at the moment I'm on transparency mode. And transparency mode is basically I can hear everything around me. I can hear little bits of noise that are going on outside the classroom, and yeah, so I can still hear aircon, those sorts of things. There's no real noise or isolation because I believe there's some sort of vent that opens up to allow sound to come in. So if I turn it off, then there's a little bit of noise isolation. It's not noise cancellation, but there's some, not a lot though. Now, one thing I really do like about these is the fact that the fit is a lot more secure than the AirPods. So it's more secure, there's less chance for sound to get in, but I can still hear things. Now I'm going to turn noise cancellation on. And although I've started to not be able to hear the things that are happening outside the classroom, I can't really hear the air conditioning, I can still hear this click. Where these now come into effect and where these become great is when I start to turn on the music. So as soon as I start to turn these on, I can still hear this, but then if I turn it up further, it's gone. Noise cancellation on these are pretty effective, however I still wouldn't say it's as good as having headphones on. When compared to the WF-1000X M3, I hope I got the name right, Sony needs to start naming your products a little bit differently. I would say they're on a par. Although the Sonys can lock into your ears a little bit better and have a bit of a secure fit, I'd say that noise cancellation is a little bit on par. I'd probably favour more towards the Sonys. However, I do like the convenience of these. So talking about sound, I've tested these quite a lot. And one thing I will tell you now is the bass is much richer than the AirPods. There is a definite bass in these. Now, it's not the same as the Skull Candy Crushers. It's not going to have that hard hitting thumping bass, and it's definitely not going to shake your head, but I'd call it flat. I'd give it that sort of flats equalizer. It's quite a neutral tone on the ears. Now, in terms of the highs, it's definitely evident. But for me personally, I prefer more bassy music, hip hop, drum and bass. I prefer rock, all those types of music. So a bassy pair of earphones is always good. However, personally, I'm not a big fan of headphones. I've tested the Bose 700s, the Bose QC35 Mark IIs, I've tested the Bose WH-1000XM3s, I think I'm saying that right. Every time I have them on, regardless of how comfortable they are, I just want to rip them off straight away. I feel a bit conscious when I've got headphones on. I'm not too keen. Earphone wise, I do think these go above and beyond. Now, the reason I say that is because I believe these are a bit of a Goldilocks model. They sort of cover all of the bases. Apple are great at inventing and sort of creating simple products that just work seamlessly with Apple devices, and yeah, I believe they've done it. The interface for iOS isn't overly complex, however, it just works. Noise cancellation is definitely a big beneficial feature. However, transparency mode, meh, I'm not too bothered about it. The only time transparency mode is going to be beneficial is if you're on a run. So if you are a runner, for me, I'm not a runner. That's not me. The other time it might be useful is if you're in a cafe and you think the table next to you is talking about you, and you can just like discreetly put it onto transparency mode and listen to them talking and hear whether they're talking about you or not. So transparency mode for me is a little bit of a mess. So why did I choose the AirPods over every single pair of headphones and earphones? I've spoken about the headphones in a little bit of depth before, but in terms of earphones, there are some fantastic products out there at the moment. I believe Apple just sort of hits that Goldilocks category of being able to do everything at the same time. If you're looking for a pair of lifestyle earphones, these cover you. If you're looking for something for sports, these are good. If you're looking for something that you can take with you for travel, it's good, it's portable. It's sort of like that Goldilocks category. I am gonna say there are some howevers. Now, when I have these in, although the fit is better than the original AirPods, I do still think they're not as secure as something like the Powerbeats Pro, which has a very similar sound profile to these. I do worry a little bit about using these in the gym and having them slip out, but I've got to test that further. The other thing that's a bit of a concern is the price. The price is not cheap. And yeah, these things come at a premium, and I personally believe that the premium price is you get what you pay for, basically. So I think the main reason why I picked the AirPods was mainly for versatility. It's a really versatile piece of kit, and I know that I'm gonna be able to bring it with me to work. At the same time, I'm gonna have it for travel, and it'll be great on the plane. And it's gonna fit with all of my other Apple devices. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like it. If you're new to the channel, then welcome. You can subscribe down in the corner. If you hit the notification bell, you'll be alerted when I post. If this reaches, let's say 50 likes, then I'll make another tech review video. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Fingers crossed. But for now, I'm out.